According to Daniel's prophecy, in Daniel 8 verse 4, he says, "And I looked and saw the ram was pushing and charging westward and northward and southward, and no beast could stand before him, neither could anyone rescue from his power. But he did according to his own will and pleasure, and magnified himself. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat, the king of Greece, which was Alexander the Great, came from the west, across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. And the goat had a conspicuous and remarkable horn between his eyes, symbolizing Alexander the Great and his kingdom." Yeshua, through signs in the heavens, revealed to us how a goat would jump across the face of the whole earth towards the east. But he also reveals this goat, what it really actually is. He reveals a DC-10 actually refueling a B-52 Stratofortress bomber, having long wings, which we will see in a while from now again, which one of the other prophets also saw. Yeshua reveals this goat jumping out of the west without touching the face of the earth as a aeroplane or a B-52 Stratofortress bomber. These bombers have the ability to carry nuclear bombs. And we will now see what Yeshua is really revealing to us. How prophecy will be fulfilled in our days. We see that there was an agreement made between the west and the east, or between the west, and if we look later, the king of the south also being Egypt, how there was an agreement made between them, but he broke the agreement. We know that the king of the south, Egypt, is also the headquarters of the Arab League of Nations. We will now see that his vines are actually growing not towards America, but towards the east. So Egypt will break the covenant or the agreement that was made with the United States of America by being unfaithful and having his alliance stronger towards the Arab League or the OPEC nations. And this will cause them to break the agreement between them and America, and will cause their destruction. We see how this goat coming out of the west will jump across the face of the whole earth, and it will break the two horns in the east, and it will crush it. We have already seen who the two horns are. We know that Venezuela, which is in the south, west, and being the whole Eastern nations, the Arab League of Nations, the longer horn that came up last, both these will be broken together because of their unfaithfulness towards the king Nebuchadnezzar, which is Alexander the Great. So not only is Yahweh revealing a prophecy about Nebuchadnezzar that's being re-fulfilled, but he actually make it equal and say that Alexander the Great, like King Nebuchadnezzar, there will be a prophecy that there will be a very similar way that this prophecy will be fulfilled in the last days. On the 22nd of November 2002, a sign appeared to me of an elephant that looked like it was standing in the continent of Asia. And as I looked, I saw how a single bomb like an arrow was shot through the elephant, going in on the one side of the elephant and going straight through the elephant. Then Yahweh broke the elephant up into 5 different men standing right next to one another, like a society having this bomb like an arrow through all 5 of these men. Then I saw the continent of Asia that disappeared from India all the way up to the Himalayas. Yahweh revealed to us that something was about to happen that will cause 5 nations to be destroyed at once. Who are these 5 nations? Well, we know that Iraq has been destroyed. We know that through Operation Desert Storm, that part of the country has already been overthrown. We now see how Afghanistan has been attacked by the British and by America. And India, Iran, and China is still left. All the East Bloc of nations will be destroyed at once. And we know that they will stand together against America, but they will be destroyed, as we will see in the rest of the seminar. We saw how that goat that landed in the east became a ram having the tail of a tadpole. In Revelation 16 verse 2 it says, Then the 6th angel emptied his bowl on the mighty river Euphrates, and his water was dried up to make ready a road for the coming of the kings of the east, from the rising of the sun. And I saw 3 loathsome spirits like frogs leaping from the mouth of the dragon, and from the mouth of the beast, and from the mouth of the false prophets. For already they are the spirits of demons that perform signs, wonders, and miracles, and they go forth to the rulers and the leaders all over the world to gather them together for war on the great day of God Almighty. So Yahweh was indicating that Satan, through these lying and deceptive spirits, and through the deceitful and deceptive plans of the beast, which comes from the false prophet, which comes from the dragon, he will gather all the nations together to make war. On the 10th of March 2002, a sign of the USS Enterprise, the aircraft carrier of the United States of America, appeared to both of us in the sky. And as we looked at this sign, on the same day, other signs also appeared to us. We saw an upside-down triangle of, on the one side we had the Roman Catholic cross, on the other side we had the sign of a swastika, or the SS of Hitler. And we know that this sign actually means the satanic trinity of the dragon or Satan and the false prophet and the Antichrist or the beast. So as we saw these signs, we saw that in front of the USS Enterprise appeared a large bow. What does this mean? In Revelation chapter 13 verse 1, we know that we have already seen that a beast will rise up. It says, I stood on the sandy beach and I saw a beast coming up out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads. Yeshua is revealing to us that this beast coming up out of the sea, this very ship, the USS Enterprise, is a sign and a symbol being a beast in the sea. And we know that those nations that control the beast in the sea will also be the nation, according to Revelation 13, that will in the last days control this very ship, saying as was prophesied in verse 4, says, they fell down and paid homage to the dragon, because he had bestowed on the beast all his dominion and authority. And they also praised and worshipped the beast, exclaiming, who is a match for the beast, and who can make war against him? And the beast was given the power of speech, uttering boastful and blasphemous words, and he was given freedom to exert his authority and to exercise his will during the 42 months, or 3.5 years. Yeshua revealed to us that the beast in the sea, the USS Enterprise, will be under the control of Satan, used by the Antichrist or the beast at that time. We see that the whole world will say, who can make war against the beast? And we know of the warfare capability of the USS Enterprise carrying many aeroplanes and warfare helicopters, and even going with a whole fleet of ships in the sea, attacking from sea to land from these ships. But what does the bow symbolize that appeared in front of the ship? In Revelation 6 verse 2 it is written, "And I looked and I saw there a white horse, whose rider carried a bow, and a crown was given him, and he rode forth conquering and to conquer." We glorify Yeshua for the great signs that he has shown us, revealing the very words of the Apostle John and what was written at that time. Yeshua reveals this bow as the very same bow of the rider on the white horse, who rides forth to conquer and to conquer all the nations on the earth. We know that by the awesome warfare power and capability of the United States of America, they have been controlling and have been on the forefront of leading the wars and the so-called bringing peace in countries through the United Nations by their ships, by the USS Enterprise, and by the B-52 bomber and the stealth bombers that they have sent out. Yeshua identified them as a proud peacock because they are proud because of their awesome ability, making the whole world to fear them and bow down. And Satan wants men and all people to bow down to their authority that is given to them by the dragon. So we know that the white horse is also the first seal that was opened when Yeshua revealed to his servant John that there would be 7 seals that would be opened. Yahweh reveals this ship and the way that the United States of America have been conquering the world is the bow that have been riding forth to conquer. They're just like a bow that is shot out, shoots an arrow out, so the United States of America have been using the ships to shoot out their arrows towards the nations. On the 15th of March 2002, other signs appeared to both of us. Again, we saw a sign of something like a large seal that was propelled by a demonic commander. We saw a hand like the hand of a very wicked demon that basically put this seal in the sea. And it says that, and we saw how this commander came out of the southwest and went towards the north. Then after this we saw another sign that appeared in the heavens, confirming the very interpretation of this seal. We saw in the heavens a sign of the propeller of a submarine, and we suddenly understood that this spoke about the Navy SEALs. Yeshua revealed through these signs who it actually refers to, the Navy SEALs. He says they are put in position by the control of a wicked hand. After this sign, another sign appeared to us. We saw a large swordfish that also swam from the southwest into the north. And out of the stomach of this fish came forth something having two roots or branches under him, just as we have seen in the former signs. And this was an evil and a treacherous plan that would give birth to the Antichrist, which the one in command, Satan, made so that he can cast down the Almighty and exalt himself above all men on the earth, and even above Yeshua, putting himself as high as the heavens. Yeshua, through these signs, reveal how through warfare and how through submarines the swordfish actually look like a helicopter. The specific helicopter that it looks like is the helicopter that is called a MI8, which is a NATO name for it, which is called HIP. It's a two-top mounted turboshaft engines driving a mid-mounted 17.3mm 5-blade main motor and a 3-blade tail motor. The engine configuration gave the aircraft its distinctive double air intake. Original versions have an angular greenhouse-style cockpit. The Model D and later have a characteristic tandem cockpit with a double bubble canopy. Other airframe components came from the Mi-14 or called Hayes. Two mid-mounted stub wings provided weapon hardpoints, each offering 3 stations in addition to providing lift. The loadout mix is mission dependent. The Mi-24 can be tasked with close air support, anti-tank operations, or aerial combat. The body is a heavily armed and titanium rotor blades that can resist impact of a .5 caliber or a 12.7mm rounds. The cockpit is overpressurized to protect the crew in NBC conditions. So this helicopter, which Yeshua is revealing to us, is like a swordfish. And it will be used in a powerful way to control the world, so that the whole world will be afraid of the beast and will say, who can make war against the beast? After these signs appeared to us in the heavens, another sign appeared on the 15th of March 2002. A sign of a dragon appeared in the sky, confirming who was behind this operation and attack on the northern countries. Then the Lord showed me the one who controlled the attack and who was behind this operation. I saw one having the eyes like a bullfrog or a large blowfly, who called the swordfish to come up out of the south. So Yeshua showed us that Satan, the dragon, will be behind these wars. But he also shows us that there will be an earthly commander that will sit behind all of these attacks, and actually have been sitting behind many of these attacks. And Yeshua reveals him as having eyes like a bullfrog or looking like a large blowfly, who called the swordfish to come up out of the south. One of the signs that appeared to us also on the same day that we saw the large peacock cock having eagle's wings was the sign of a hawk eye that appeared in the sky. Now, what is the hawk eye? The hawk eye is an aeroplane that is used in battle situations that controls the entire warfare. The hawk eye has a large radar dish mounted on top of the aeroplane, so that it could, through radar, be able to accurately coordinate the entire ground-to-ground and air-to-ground attacks. But Yeshua reveals how this hawkeye actually looks like a blowfly, or a large blowfly having eyes like a bullfrog. But this interpretation of this sign is actually even deeper than that. And we will see later that the eyes also refers to a certain person who have these eyes like a bullfrog or like a blowfly. We know that the United States of America has all this warfare capability, and they have it at their fingertips. We see in the picture in front of us a hawkeye sitting on top of the United Nations USS Enterprise, ready to control and to coordinate the wars that will take place. After this, also on the 15th of March 2002, a sign appeared to us in the heavens. We saw a man that riding on a horse, who had a mighty sword which extended across the face of the whole earth, as was written by the Apostle John, saying, "And another horse came out, flaming red, and its rider was empowered to take peace from the earth, so that men slaughtered one another. And he was given a huge sword." We saw that he was given great power and right of control over the whole earth. And then after this, we saw a mighty atom bomb explosion that took place. After this sign, we saw another sign that appeared in the sky. We saw a sign of a stealth bomber or an aeroplane that resembles the beast, pointing his nose towards the southwest, looking at the earth like a dragon who subjects his subjects, ruling them with an iron fist and a mighty hand, controlling all mankind, looking to see who would oppose or rebel against him, so that he may wipe them off the face of the earth. Yeshua revealed to us that after the rider on the white horse will come the rider on the red horse, or the flaming red horse, and peace will be taken from the earth, and he will be given a great sword. Through these signs, Yeshua reveals how he will control the earth, making use of the stealth bombers, one of the most powerful and most advanced fighter planes in the world. The stealth bomber was used and deployed in Desert Storm in the operation, and it says, although only 36 stealth fighters were deployed in Desert Storm and accounted for only 2.5% of the total force of 1,900 fighters and bombers, they flew more than a third of the bombing runs on the first day of the war. In all, during Desert Storm, the stealth fighter conducted more than 1,250 sorties. During their mission, the F-117A pilots delivered over 2,000 tons of precision-guided ordnance with a high rate of better than 80% and flew more than 6,900 hours. More than 3,000 anti-aircraft guns and 50 surface-to-air missile batteries protected the city. But despite this seemingly impenetrable shield, the Nighthawks owned the skies over the city, and for that matter, the country. The stealth fighter, which is coated with a secret radar-absorbent material, operated over Iraq and Kuwait with impunity and was unscratched by the enemy's guns. We can see that the stealth bomber is an intense and an awesome advantage in warfare for the United States of America and for the United Nations when it was used in Desert Storm, and will be used by the Antichrist in the future to control the whole world. And Yeshua reveals this by signs in the heavens. Even the war against Iraq, it says, although the 37th Tactical Fighter Wing Provisional and its 42 stealth fighters presented just 2.5% of all Allied fighter and attack aircraft in the Gulf, the F-117A were assigned against more than 31% of the strategic Iraqi military targets attacked during the first 24 hours of the air campaign. During the war, it performed poorly, dropping smart bombs on military targets, achieving a success rate of only 40%. So we see that the normal aircrafts had a very poor rate of reaching its targets, although the stealth bombers accurately destroyed most of its targets within one day, flying more than 6,900 hours of sorties. Late on the evening of the 22nd of March 2003, while I prayed and waited on the Lord, I saw a vision from the Lord. I saw two fighter planes that was in a dogfight. I saw the one fighter plane in front tried with all his might to escape the other behind him on his tail. And I saw how both of them went into a barrel roll. Suddenly I saw the fighter jet that was in front exploded and was incinerated. I did not know why Yahweh had showed me this vision, nor did I understand exactly what he was trying to say. But on the 10th of October 2008, I understood. The same day that I saw this vision was one day before there was an attack on Baghdad. We know that the USS Enterprise was standing in the Red Sea and courier missiles were shot from the Red Sea into Baghdad, destroying and overthrowing the government of Iraq. Yeshua was revealing to me that there was a war that's going to be taking place, and this was a major part of the beginning of the end. Yeshua has a heart for the Muslims. Even though he does not agree with what they believe, he still loves all mankind. And he came to tell me that there was a war on Iraq, and that I had to intercede for that which was about to come and take place. On the 10th of October 2008, I saw a vision, and in my vision I saw a cloud, and out of the cloud came a ghost. And I was terrified by the evil of this ghost when I saw him. When I saw him coming out of the cloud, he came out of the cloud with an explosion, just like he came out of the cloud of smoke in September 11 on the attack of the Twin Towers in New York. The cloud that came out that looked like a ghost looked exactly like the cloud of the Twin Towers that exploded. Then the Spirit of God came upon me, and the word of the Lord came to me, and he said to me, "He will ascend from the bottomless pit and deceive all the nations of the world." And I had to prophesy to him that although he came out, he will return to the bottomless pit, where he will be locked up forever and ever, never to come out again. Yeshua revealed to me that out of this war and out of this explosion that will take place, the Antichrist will take his position on the earth. Just like this war on Iraq has been taking place, making use of the awesome ability of the USS Enterprise, as well as the MiGs and the stealth bombers, so the Antichrist will make use of this power to rule the earth for a period of 42 months. After this, also on the 10th of October 2008, I saw another vision. In a vision, I saw the aircraft carrier, the USS Enterprise, standing on the sea with the sun setting behind it. And I saw standing on the deck of the ship was a F-19 fighter jet with its cockpit standing open. While I looked and wondered what the Lord wanted to say to me, suddenly another vision came to me. I saw a vision where I was in the daytime and I was above the aircraft carrier, seeing it from the top. And I saw how many fighter jets were standing on the top of the aircraft carrier's deck. And again I wondered, what is the Lord trying to say to me? And I was reminded that there was about 5,000 men on board of this huge aircraft carrier, and that these men were away from their families for many months. And I started reasoning to myself that maybe Yeshua wanted me to pray and intercede for these soldiers. And as I started praying and interceding, thinking this is what the Holy Spirit desired me to do, the word of the Lord suddenly came to me, saying, "O you mighty beast of the sea, warrior in front of whom many will bow, all the peoples of the earth will say, who is like the beast, and who can make war against him? Who has great strength like him?" I was about to prophesy to this beast in the sea and about its might and power when the word of the Lord suddenly came to me, saying, "Say to that arrogant nation, just as they said." I was still wondering what the Lord was about to say when I saw another vision that appeared to me in the distance. I saw the Titanic appear in front of me. Then the Lord said to me, "Just like they said about the Titanic, no one will be able to sink this ship, not even God. This ship will sink, and the hull of the ship will break open, and the fish of the sea will make their nest in it." And again the word of the Lord to the Holy Spirit came to me, and I saw another vision. The Lord said, "How you also have said to yourself, not even God can sink me, but God cannot be mocked. Man will reap what he sows." Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon me again, and I saw another ship. I saw a great hero of old. I saw that its hull was black, and its hull was high. Then I saw how tail first, it went into the sea, and how it broke open and submerged under the water. And the Lord showed me how first there was engine trouble, and then a large ice mountain was placed in its way. Truly, we serve an awesome God. God said, just like they said about the Titanic, that no one is able to sink the ship, not even God. This ship, the USS Enterprise, the aircraft carrier of the United States of America, will sink. And the hull of the ship will break open, and the fish of the sea will make their nest in it. Then in a vision, I saw how this ship sink into the water, and I saw and heard how the hull of the ship crushed into the ocean bottom, and I heard the sound that it made. Then the Lord said to me again to say to this ship with so many passengers on it, and said, "Your hull will break open, and the fish of the sea will make their nest in you forever and ever. Never again will you make the nations afraid by your great arrogance. In 1 hour your power will come to nothing. On the 1st of September 2005, nearly 2 years later, after I had seen this vision, I started working for a well-known construction company in South Africa called Group 5, and after having worked for them for nearly 6 months, I decided to do some research on the aircraft carrier, the USS Enterprise. And then I found a photo on the internet. And if I show you this photo now, for those who can see it, you will be as amazed as I was. For this was the very photo, the very vision that Yeshua had shown me of an aircraft carrier with an F-19 standing on it, with a cockpit standing open, with the sun setting behind the ship. This is an awesome proof that Yeshua did speak to us, and that he did reveal that which he has spoken to me 2 years before, saying that this ship will sink and that the hull of the ship will break open. And even more than that, this was also my confirmation that Yeshua gave me to start writing the book called The Witness, which is a full compilation of all that we have seen over a period of nearly 9 years. And all glory belongs to Yeshua and to him alone, for he is the one who knows the future, who knows the beginning from the end. Amen.